What if I told you that, after 3 years of what appeared to be a flawless marriage, Shaunie O'Neal, the force behind Basketball Wives, has just revealed shocking truths about Pastor Keion Henderson that no one expected, especially not at 50. Shaunie isn't stepping away quietly. Instead, she's lifting the veil on the cracks beneath the glossy Instagram posts, glowing interviews, and that picture-perfect love story. What went so wrong that she's now choosing to walk away so boldly? Fans are left speechless and rethinking everything they thought they knew. Don't go anywhere, because we're about to dive into every detail, and believe me, you won't want to miss a moment. Welcome back to the channel where we dig deep into the most talked about, controversial, and scandal-filled celebrity stories shaking up the internet. Today we're diving into one of the most jaw-dropping headlines in recent reality TV drama. Shaunie O'Neal, the reigning queen of Basketball Wives, has come forward at 50 with revelations about her husband, Pastor Keion Henderson, following just 3 years of marriage. Now, if you've been keeping up with this couple, you know they always appeared solid, blending faith, fame, and family into what looked like a seamless partnership. But behind the curtain, not everything was as it appeared.
In this video, we'll unpack exactly what Shaunie has shared, the buzz from fans, and what this might signal for their future together. We'll go over the evolution of their relationship, their ascent as a power couple, and the subtle red flags that many missed along the way. Plus, we'll examine the specific concerns Shaunie is calling out now, from alleged infidelity to control issues, and the striking difference between public image and private reality. We'll also explore how Shaunie is taking charge of her life and redefining her image in the wake of the split. By the end of this video, you'll be up to speed with all the facts, receipts, and insider commentary. And we'll take a look at what lies ahead for Shaunie O'Neal as she reclaims her strength and steps confidently into a fresh chapter. Stick around. Each part of this story reveals more you don't want to miss. So let's go back to where it all started. Because before we can understand how it unraveled, we have to see how it all began. Shaunie O'Neal, widely recognized as the driving force behind Basketball Wives, had already endured a very public and painful divorce from NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal. For years, fans followed her as she juggled single motherhood, her growing business ventures, and the constant roller coaster of reality TV fame. Then came Keion Henderson, a highly respected megachurch pastor known for his compelling sermons and impeccable public image. When their relationship became public, it quickly turned into a full-blown media storm.
Here was a woman rooted in the glitz and spectacle of Hollywood, joining forces with a man of faith, a spiritual leader with a vast congregation, and a steadily expanding online presence. Their 2021 engagement made waves across media outlets, from the dazzling ring to the romantic proposal and the breathtaking wedding in Anguilla. Everything painted a picture of love, renewal, and spiritual awakening. Fans were convinced Shaunie had finally met her match, someone who shared her drive, understood her high-profile life, and could offer a solid spiritual foundation. But as is often the case in the realm of celebrity, things aren't always as flawless as they appear on Instagram. Beneath the curated couple goals and polished photos, subtle fractures began to emerge, cracks that are only now, after 3 years of marriage, coming fully into view. Clue number 1. Observant fans noticed that Shaunie's social media gradually shifted focus, with fewer couple snapshots and more emphasis on her individual ventures. Clue number 2. Keion's sermons, once filled with warmth and encouragement, started adopting a more pointed tone, frequently touching on themes like submission, gender role, and authority. Clue number 3. In her recent interviews, Shaunie appeared to be a woman grappling with the tension between her strong independence and a relationship that seemed to demand more personal compromise than she'd anticipated.
But here comes the twist. What exactly did Shaunie share in her recent bombshell interview that left fans stunned and set the internet ablaze? Stick around, because up next we're diving into all the explosive revelations, including her candid words about Keion's behavior behind closed doors and why she's ultimately deciding to walk away. Shaunie O'Neal has always played her cards smart, whether it's producing hit reality TV or managing her public image. After her headline-making split from Shaquille O'Neal, she became no stranger to life under the spotlight. But in this latest tell-all interview, tied to the release of her new memoir, she wasn't holding anything back. And what she disclosed about her marriage to Pastor Keion Henderson has taken social media by storm, in her own voice. Shaunie confessed, "I was expected to shrink myself, to quiet my voice, to downplay my brand, my identity, in order to fit into the mold of a perfect first lady. And for a while, I tried. But I was disappearing. That one sentence carried the emotional weight of years spent in silent struggle. And fans quickly picked up on both the shade and the substance of her words. Shaunie wasn't simply referencing minor conflicts. She was calling out a deep misalignment in core values and expectations. Let's break down the key points from that interview that reveal a much clearer picture of what was unfolding behind the scenes. First, image was everything. Shaunie explained that the relentless pressure to maintain appearances, particularly in support of Keion's expanding megachurch image, became too much to bear.
There were times when I just wanted to be a wife, not a prop, she revealed. According to Shaunie, many of their conflicts were rooted in how Keion's team meticulously shaped and managed their public image. She even admitted, "I felt like a supporting character in a film I didn't write." 1. Power and purpose differences. While Shaunie was busy running businesses, producing television, and juggling book deals, Keion, according to her, envisioned a more traditional relationship dynamic. She spoke about feeling confined by the expectation to play a behind-the-scenes role, quietly championing him, rather than thriving in her own career on her own terms.
2. Compromise versus control. A particularly subtle yet revealing moment came when Shaunie noted that what began as compromise started feeling more like control. Though she never directly labeled Keion as manipulative, the implication was hard to miss. There seemed to be a constant tug-of-war between maintaining her independence and conforming to the expectations placed on her as the spiritual matriarch of his church audience. 3. The silent cheating rumors. While Shaunie didn't confirm any outright infidelity, her remarks were packed with innuendo. She said, quote, "I've seen this story before. The emotional withdrawal, the energy shift, the secrets." She explained that she had once promised herself she'd never turn a blind eye to red flags again. Those few lines sent fans into a frenzy. Forums exploded with speculation about whether Keion had been unfaithful or emotionally distant. And though she didn't name anyone specifically, some internet investigators tied her comments to earlier rumors involving Keion's alleged interactions with women in his congregation. Shaunie also emphasized that her decision wasn't made on a whim. "I wasn't going to be another woman silenced under the guise of religion or respectability," she stated. "I knew leaving would bring backlash, but staying would have cost me far more." By the close of that interview, one thing stood out with clarity. Shaunie wasn't just leaving a relationship with a man. She was stepping away from a role that no longer reflected who she was.
And yet, one burning question continues to echo among fans. What has Pastor Keion Henderson said in return? Is he denying Shaunie's claims, avoiding them, or leaning deeper into his public image as a spiritual leader? Stick around, because in the next segment, we're unpacking his responses, public statements, his cryptic sermons, and the subtle ways he's working to reshape the public narrative. When Shaunie O'Neal shared her heartfelt revelations about her marriage to Pastor Keion Henderson, fans held their breath, waiting to hear how he'd respond. Would the well-known pastor, famous for his smooth sermons and uplifting speeches, address her claims directly? Or would he take a more indirect route, speaking through scripture and layered motivational language? As expected, the response, like much of Keion's public persona, was nuanced, and to some, calculated. First, the sermon that sparked it all. Just days after Shaunie's interview began circulating widely, Pastor Keion stepped up to the pulpit at the Lighthouse Church in Houston.